Are you thinking of coming to Scotland? And have people be telling you Scotland is free education, it's free healthcare, you can get a lot of jobs, and you're like, okay, I've concluded I am coming to Scotland. But darling, do you really know there are a lot of things people don't tell you about living in Scotland? If you want to know those things, you might want to watch this video to the very end and have a second thought if you still want to come to Scotland or not. Hey beautiful Tovians, welcome back. It's your girl Tovia Ogun, back again with another exciting video. If you're new here, you are welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, you are welcome. And if you're yet to subscribe, make sure you do that right now. On my last Scotland video, I told you guys why you need to move to Scotland. I know a lot of you were happy about that video. You're like, oh my god, yes, Scotland is a place. I am moving to Scotland. But then I also promised to tell you guys that there are things you need to know before you move to Scotland. These things are so important, they are so vital, because people are so quick to tell you the good things about every places you want to come to, but they never tell you the main things you should be aware of. Obviously, anything that is good, but you don't really need to prepare for things that are good. You need to be prepared for things that are not good, or things that might cost you a lot. And those are the things I'm going to be sharing on this video. What people don't tell you about living in Scotland. So I'm going to be so blunt on this video. I'm going to be so truthful. I'm going to be so clean with you guys. I'm not going to be hiding anything. If you guys don't like the truth, you might exit the video, because this is going to be a straight ash video. And if you're not ready for the ash stories, you're not ready for the blunt story, you might want to exit this video now while you still can, because once you're in, there's not going back. Okay, before I begin, as usual, I want to give a clean disclaimer. Again, I love Scotland. If I don't love Scotland, I won't be here today. All I'm saying here is just things people need to know, people need to be aware of. That doesn't mean I don't love the country. That doesn't mean I'm not telling you not to come. If you want to come, you can come. It's just things you need to know, things you need to be aware of before you come to Scotland. But again, I love Scotland. I love the Scottish people. I have a lot of friends here, I have families here, and I love every one of them. I love the country. Okay, without further ado, let's just get right into the video. The first thing you need to know before you move to Scotland is life is hard in Scotland. Life is hard in the UK in general. Life is hard here in the sense that you need to work to survive. You cannot live in the UK and feel you can survive without actually working. You cannot live in the UK, you cannot live in Scotland without overworking yourself and think you will survive. A lot of people work 2 to 3 jobs here to survive, to meet up with their expenses. There are people that work as early as 5 a.m. like they wake up so early to catch their bus, and they will leave home, let's say 5-6 a.m. or till the night before they will be back, and before it's morning again, they're already out there running to work. Life here is not easy. And I know a lot of you will be like, oh, if life is here is not easy, then why are you still living there? Why don't you go home? I know a lot of Nigerians are quick to say that, like, then come home and let somebody else go to the country. Come home to work to a country that doesn't have security, to a country that doesn't have job, to a country that is so hard to live. Nigeria is not better. I'm not saying it's better, but making you guys aware that before you come to Scotland, you need to be ready. Life in Scotland is not easy. The country is cold. Even right now, it's getting cold. Winter is approaching, and yet there are people that will work to survive. So because a lot of you always be like, then why don't you guys come home? Come home if Scotland is not okay, if the UK is difficult. We can't come home because at the end of the day, Nigeria doesn't have any job waiting for us. Nigeria security is not even close to being okay. That is the reason people don't come home, because they've already thought about it. Should I just go back home? And if I get home, what am I going to be doing? How am I going to feed my family? But a lot of people prefer to still stay here, work so hard, stress themselves, feed themselves, feed their families in Nigeria or wherever they are from, to survive. Again, life in the UK is not easy. Life in Scotland is not easy. You need to have thick skin to be able to survive here. That's why most times I wonder, why is that most Scottish people don't actually work, and yet they complain don't have money. They don't have money, they don't work because it's not easy. It's not easy. If the people who live in the country won't even work, imagine you that is coming from outside. Now you see how difficult it actually is. So just to tell you guys that the UK can actually age you so quickly. You're still in the age 30 and your system will start getting weak like you're in the age 35, 36. You know, when I told you guys that the UK have a lot of jobs and people work up to 2 or 3 jobs here, not because they want to work here, not because they are happy doing it, but they're doing it because they need to survive. The expenses here is just too much. It's too much. So the only way you can meet up is to work and work. Even in the cold, even in the rain, you need to go out there to work. Okay, that is what people do. And let me tell you guys, the worst part is these managers, these people you work for, they don't really care about you. They will give you 12-hour shift, and if you're even finished with that 12 hours and they see they still have things to do, they will still make you do it. And a lot of Nigerians, a lot of blacks, a lot of few people who moved here, you'll be ready to work and work to even you want to kill yourself and feel your manager loves you. They don't. So again, life in the UK is not easy. You need to think twice. Are you ready for the stress? Are you ready to be out there even in the cold to feed your family? People don't tell you these things. Even when they tell you guys that are out there, you will be like, if it's that hard, if it's hard, then come home. Again, come home to work. That's why people don't come home. The ones who go back, they will be ready. They will save enough before they move back, because it is not easy living in Europe, living in the UK, living in Scotland. Life is not easier. The second thing you need to know before you move to Scotland, and this is like the UK in general, I'm not centering this particular one to Scottish people, but people who live in the UK, and in fact there are even black people that are not part of this category, and that is UK people are extremely selfish. I know a lot of you might be like, what? Yes, people who live in the UK are selfish. Not everyone. See, let me tell you guys this. See, before I moved to the UK years ago, people used to always say this, that don't go to the UK, oh, those people are stingy. In fact, if you get it, don't go and learn that habit, or don't learn that character. You'll be stingy and all of that. That's one thing about UK people. Yeah, we knew that about them before we even moved here. I'm not gonna blame them too much. I'm not gonna blame them. I think it's because the way people struggle to handle life here, to live here, like I said in my part 1, is not easy. People work so hard, and then I think that's why they find it really hard to release money to help people. UK, they are stingy. That's why even the government, they don't give you anything for free. They don't. If they give you one, they are collecting it back. That's one thing. Again, this is not directly to Scottish people. This is the UK in general. Let me tell you guys this. When I was living in Italy, there will never be a day I will go hard, like to go take the bus. Before I walk to the bus stop, I'll get more than 3 cars that will stop to give me a lift. A lot. I'll even be saying no. Aside the lift, people will take you out in Italy and they will do shopping for you. Italian men, those people, God will bless them. They will take you out, do shopping for you. You don't get that in the UK. Don't even think. You will not get that in the UK. That's how stingy people who live in the UK are. If it's in the UK, you will go out with a guy. In fact, they will tell you, let's go out. You carry yourself out with them, and they will be ready to split the bill with you. Yes, when they bring the bill, everyone has to pay for what they've eaten. There was never a day I have gone out with anyone in Italy and I pay my bills. Never. There was never one time. Obviously, if I go out with my normal female friends, that's a different story. You guys know what I'm talking about, with a guy or stuff like that. Yeah, never. So although that has never happened to me here in the UK either, I've never gone out with anyone I pay my bills, no. But I have heard people's stories, I've seen people's stories. People who live here, they say that. Maybe it's just me, that's where it's different. But people who live here, that's what they do. You go out with anyone and you have to split the bill. Like they will hardly give you money here for free or just gifts. They hardly, so they don't do that. They do it, but it's so rare. But in Italy, it's common. In Nigeria, that's one thing about Nigerian guys. I know Nigerian boys, they can be annoying, but our Niger brothers, the Niger men, they are lovely people that give a lot. That's one thing about Nigerians. We give a lot. Italian people, they give a lot. UK people, If you come here, don't learn that habit. It's bad. You need to learn how to give. That's why the UK government, again, they give and collect back. They will give you, they will take it back. They take everything back from you. So the people who live in the UK are very stingy. If you come here, please do not learn the same habit. Giving is a blessing. If you give, you'll be blessed, okay? That is one other thing you need to know before you move to the UK, okay? The third thing about living in the UK or Scotland is nothing is free. I know I said that in my tip number 2, but I had a tip specifically for this one. Nothing is free in the UK. And like I said, the government will give you, they will take it back. You see, when I tell you guys that people work 2 to 3 jobs here, and a lot of you be like, oh, money. Yes, love money. You might work and work. At the end of the day, you receive up to 2K in your account after tax. And then after you receive that, let me list all the bills that will start coming up to take all that money back. The first one will be your council tax. You need to pay it by force. The second one, you will pay your house rent. You will pay your gas bill. You will pay your light bill. You will take care of yourself. You will do your food. You will do your transportation. A lot. You will warm yourself because here is cold. You will eat. You will pay your phone bills. You will pay your, if you drive, you pay your insurance bills. Your TV bill, they pay TV here. TV here is not free. You pay for watching TV. Yes, they will pay for that. Light, water, everything. You pay for everything you consume here. And at the end of the day, that 2K you feel you and you took in them, they pay you. That £2,000 they pay you by the end of the month. After your expenses, you might end up with just £500 or £700 in your savings. That's how much you'll be left with. Or if it's too much, it's not even going to be up to 1K. Let's forget about that. So that is how much expenses you pay here. Life here is not free. Nothing is free. So you need to be ready. Just know that if you're going to be working here, you need to learn how to minimize your expenses, to lower your expenses. Otherwise, you will be working for the country. Your skin, your flesh, your body, everything will be going down. And at the end of the day, you are not even going to be able to say, how much have I saved? What am I doing? So a lot of you, this is life in the UK. Be right there. The fourth reason, this is mostly to my sisters in the house, and that is man is not easy to find in the UK, in Scotland. Scotland, finding a husband here is not the most easiest thing. Again, Scottish people are too reserved. Scottish men are really, really reserved. Even if they like you, even if they find you so attractive, they are not that type of people that will easily just make that move and come to you and be like, we love you, we like you, I want to date you. You know, they don't easily do that. They can take their time, and before taking your time, you don't the green white hair, you already green white hair, you already old, everything has dropped before they decided I want to come ask you out. So if you have a serious relationship wherever you are, don't be like, oh, because I'm coming to Scotland, I'm gonna just find a man tomorrow. It might be different for you, it might be different from different people, but I'm just speaking in general. That doesn't mean everyone will find it hard to find a man in the UK, in Scotland. That doesn't mean that it's gonna be for everyone, but I'm just talking in general brackets. So it's so difficult to find a man in the UK. Like I said, Scottish men are too reserved, and as many people say, you can be in the UK for years, nobody will approach you. No one. In fact, the only way you can even easily get this approach, you need to be very, very good looking. You need to be good looking. You need to be elegant. That is when you'll be getting approached, or you've got one talent and then you're easily approached. Or maybe because you're a YouTuber, you're popular online, then you're easily approached, okay? But if you're not even any of those things, you don't have any special figures or special features that draws people to you, okay? You will be like hot caking wherever you're coming from. But once you get to Scotland, you'll be like, I just went out today, I dressed all nice, and nobody even say, hi, pretty girl. Nobody even say, hi, lovely. Yes, that's how it is here. Scottish men, they find it so hard to approach you that way. They can say, lovely hair, nice look. That is all. Even if there's something they just won't let it out. So just beware, man, husband, boyfriend, guy, mayfors is not easy to find in Scotland. The fifth thing you need to know before you move to Scotland is you don't get physical help. Now, what do I mean by this one? This is mostly to people who've got kids. Raising a kid, raising family in the UK is one of the hardest things. When I was in Nigeria, see, you will give birth to a child. You as a parent, you might not even see your child a day. You will have your kids, and then once they start working, people will carry them in Nigeria. They will carry them for 5 hours, 10 hours. They'll just take your kid away. Later, they'll bring back your child, and everything will still be okay. But it doesn't happen here in the UK. If you need anyone to babysit for you, you need to pay. Yeah. Nothing is free, like I told you guys before. Nothing is free in the UK. They pay for everything. For your friends to help you with anything, they will ask you to pay. And that is where this one is. You don't get any physical help. If you have kids, you need to keep taking care of your kids yourself. People's time is precious. You pay for it all. So for those of you that have got that in wherever you are in Nigeria, your cities, you have to be grateful. It doesn't happen here in the UK. If you have 5 kids, be ready to take care of your 5 kids yourself. If you need someone to take care of them, you pay for their time. Nothing in the UK is free. People are staging in the UK. Remember, even if these people are your family members, they will still ask you to pay. It maybe it's 1 out of 5 that will tell you it's okay, but the rest of them you need to pay, because nothing is free. People would rather use that time, the time they're supposed to be working, any money to pay for their bills. You wanted to come watch your kids, then you need to pay. The system you need to know before you move to Scotland or in the UK in general is the UK will make you emotionally sick. The most common one is depression. Now, the UK is so common with depression, guys. I know a lot of people, young people, teenagers who have been victims of depression. Not because someone is doing them one harm or the other, because the system is messed up. You need to be ready to take care of yourself emotionally, materially, and mentally. Otherwise, you're gonna go crazy mentally. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna be depressed. It's so common, yeah. Sometimes I see them like, why is this so common? Why are people being victim of depression and stuff like that? That's what the UK can actually do to you. And most common is, if you used to be an active person, you're gonna see yourself being indoor a lot. It could be because of the weather, because it's just expensive going outside. Okay, you see yourself being indoor a lot. You won't be that active anymore. You won't be going out that much because you're trying to do less expensives, because the weather is humbling you, or people are always busy. You don't have anyone to go out with. You get tired of just going out alone. That's because the UK is again depressing. Let me go check my door. So because you're always alone, taking a lot, depression start kicking in, your mental health is at stake, and this is part of the things you get from living here. So just learn how to be your own keeper, learn how to enjoy your own company before you move here, because if you do, you're gonna be experiencing that a lot. So that's one other thing you can actually get from just living here. Emotionally depressed, mental health at stake, always keeping to yourself. Welcome to Scotland. The 7th thing you need to know before you move to Scotland is social service are after your kids' life. Now, what do I mean? So for those people who have children, you need to be careful before you move to Scotland. There is so many laws here guiding kids, guiding children. That way you can't molest your kids. You can't be too strict on your kids. You can't spank your kids here in Scotland. Growing up in Africa, I can't count how many times I was spanked, but I'm still alive, and those things made me stronger today. But it doesn't work the same here in the UK, and I know they're actually trying to protect the younger ones, because most kids, they've been molested, they've been affected, they've gone through a lot. Some have even lost their life as a result of these things people think is normal. Okay, but here in the UK, the social services protect kids here. I know of a lot of people that their kids have been taken from them, a lot. I can't even count, and I don't want to go through those stories. Okay, but then you need to be careful. You need to train your kids in the right way, in the fear of the Lord. You don't need to always spank them. You don't need to give them the wrong words. You don't need to say the wrong things to them. Do you know why kids are interviewed in their schools? They bring them together. Even me that is an adult, I remember when I was in college, there are so many times my lecturers, they will call me just to interview me. How's everything at home? How are you doing? Is anything going wrong? And this is where it comes in. So if you've given your kids the wrong impression, the wrong pictures, once they get to school, they will open their mouth. Wow. Yeah, people here don't have secrets. I'm not going to talk about that part now. That is another tips I want to share about, but that will be my second video. People here, they don't keep secrets. They don't have secrets. They can easily open their mouth, wow, and everything you've told them will go out. And that's how kids here are actually raised. They don't know secrets. They don't have secrets. So whatever you've said to your kids at home, whatever you've threatened them with, whatever you've said to them, if they get to school, they are interviewed. And once they're interviewed, they said the wrong things. They've made them open their mouth wide and said everything. You might end up losing your kids. You might just have a knock. Mom is knocking. Social services, they're after your kids. Yeah, that is common here. So you need to be careful. You need to train your kids in the right way, in the fear of the law. You need to tell them what is right. Spanking your kids is not always the best thing. Eating your children is not the best way to train them, because a lot of you parents, you do too much, to be honest. You do too much. Even if, yeah, I know I was spanked a lot when I was younger, but I'm stronger today. Again, you parents, a lot of you, actually African parents, you guys, you do too much most times. Okay, spanking your kids is not always the best way, but of course, just make sure you train them in the right way. Otherwise, social services are after your kids. Yeah, that's why when I told you guys on my video why you should move to Scotland, I said it's a place to raise a family with question mark, and the question mark is this: social services can take your kids away from you anytime if you don't train them well, if you use the wrong method of training on them. This is not Africa, this is the UK, this is Scotland. Learn the lifestyle here and find the best way to train your kids out of the lifestyle here. Okay, the 8th thing you need to know before you move to Scotland is beware of friends. People here, they don't have secrets. They don't keep secrets. The instant you are the one who is amazing to them today, maybe you're the one friend, you're dressing, you're looking nice, you're looking sweet, you are their best friend today. The instant someone else comes into the picture and that person is dressing nice, looking all good, loving the party life, they immediately adjust from you to that person. And whatever you said, whatever you've told them, everything, just know that they are going to open their mouth so wide to release everything. That's why I see a lot of guests here getting depressed, getting bittered because one friend has betrayed them. Like, betrayal is so common here. Like, I'm not just targeting this to the Scottish people. Please beware, I'm not targeting this to Scottish people. It's everyone here in general, whichever tribe they've come from, whichever country. What I'm trying to say is the lifestyle here teaches you to be so open. You're being taught to be so open. In case anything is happening to you, you're taught to be so open. And because people are taught to be so open, they don't keep secrets. They are so quick to open up their mouth to say everything you've told them. As long as they just want to communicate, they just want to talk, so they just open your mouth. Why? You're in a relationship here, you see somebody who will narrate all of their life stories to you. People you don't even know before, that has the worst, but they don't even know you. They can just open their mind and they open everything. Why? So you need to be very, very careful of the things you tell people, things that are really important in your life that you tell people, because nobody's your friend here. Believe it or not, it's just whatever is trending is what people follow here. That's the thing I know about people who live here. It is what is trending that they are up to. The instant you stop trending, you're not good to them. Okay, if it's the non person that is trending, they go for that one. If it's another person that is trending, they go for that one. That's how people live here. So you need to be careful. You need to watch your back. You need to be on keeper. You need to be extremely safe for your own self if you want to live properly here in the UK. Now, so this is the part 1 of what I wanted to share in this video. There's a part 2 because this video is way too long. I don't want to go longer than this. There's a part 2 where I will share more things you need to know before you move to Scotland. And I hope these 8 things you've thought about it. I'm not saying you should run away from because you've heard these 8 things. I'm only sharing it for you to be aware, for you to be ready, for you to be careful, for you to be prepared. You don't want to get surprised. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, share it with your friends, like it, comment your thought, and I would love to hear it. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the part 2. Bye.